We've been closed for the last half hour. Are there any motions to come out of closed session?
I make a motion to accept the resignation of Olivia Beck, Justin Carr, and Aaron Knight.
Is there a second?
You all want to go closer, but then we all want to
Is there a second?
I'd like to accept the appointments of Eric Pan, Chris Yecker, Dan, Garrity Copeland, Chris Yecker, Randy Meyer, Garrity Copeland, Ryan Mitchell, Morgan Peterson, Cole Taylor, Eric Watson.
Is there a second?
Then I'd like to accept the retirement agreement for, or the retirement proposals for Carol Polish, Mr. Turks, Jennifer Younger.
Is there a second?
Then I'd like to make a motion to accept the renewals. Steve Burns, Kim Randall, Sean Gatto, Kelly Gilmore Pace, Ryan Hughes, Elizabeth Myers, Bill Niesmeyer, Steve Stinson, Zach Van Elter, and Kelly Burke.
Is there a second?
Second. Yes. Cory Buck?
Yes.
Dick Dixon?
Yes.
That brings us to our, the reason why we're here tonight, educating students to be lifelong learners and effective responsible citizens. And please roll your eyes as That brings us to recognitions.
We've got a couple here at the chair. Although we had a condensed sports season, we had a busy spring. We had a late winter, busy spring, and we've had some outstanding team accomplishments and a couple of individual accomplishments. So, first, I'd like to recognize Brandon Newton. She was our first state champ in 17 years, I think. Mrs. Harvey's daughter was the last, second ever pro state champion. Who was state champion. Pardon me? It's in shot put. And then we had two other girls with top 10 finishes. Both the girls placed both in shot and disc, and then Lydia Cermak long jump. Then softball made it to the sectional final, which we believe is the first time in the history of school that girls softball made it to the sectional final. And then we lost in the sectional semifinals to girls soccer. And then we had some place finishing in discus and boys track. So just kind of a great way to finish the school year for our athletic program. No further pictures. Okay.
So that brings us to the public comment portion of the evening. I'm sure a lot of you were last time, so again, if there's a public comment, please come out front, state your name, please keep it to 5 minutes or less, as your time is going to so that we can talk, and keep the voices heard, and we'll give around tolerating the last voice speaking members, so please keep it classy. Any motion to make a public comment, please. I'll try my best.
There's a second mic.
those of you who may only know me by my email moniker, R.Rich, my name is Robbie Rich. I'm a longtime resident of Mount Morris, having served on the Mount Morris School Board from 1972 until it was devised in 1994. I then served 2 terms on the Oregon Board of Education. Finally, in the mid-2000s, I served 12 years on the Iowa Board of Trustees. Some might say education is in my DNA. Currently, I'm privileged to chair the Mount Morris Economic Development Corporation Board. I'm not here to vet or castigate Superintendent Mahoney and offer recommendations to close the Ron Junior High. Having been in your shoes several decades ago, I empathize with your position. You can be certain that regardless of the decision, you're not going to please everyone. Rather, my purpose is to prevail upon patience and goodwill and request that the decision to close the institution that DLR has become be postponed. Citizens of Mount Morris find ourselves in a very special and unique set of circumstances. Eliminating the physical presence of the old school building on the soil of our village. Is it too much to ask of the residents and stakeholders of our community in a period of time to feel much to study the recommendation and offer alternatives? Shortly after the closure recommendation became public, a small group of concerned citizens and taxpayers came together and formed a group, which for want of a better term calls itself an advisory group. Among them are former school board members, former and current school administrators, former and current chief financial officers, an attorney, school auditor, and other community leaders. I won't name members of the group now, but will say to you in describing the group, as one way described as some serious brain power. Our intent is not to usurp, hijack, or authority or responsibility, but merely to study the many consequences, circumstances, and potential repercussions implicit in Superintendent Mahoney's recommendation, and offer sensible, practical, actionable solutions. Alternatives, if you will, that preclude closing of DLR, and what is more important, alternative solutions for stabilizing long-term financial circumstances in the Oregon community and the school district. What we respectfully request is a 90-day delay, say until your September board meeting, in making a decision about the life of DLR. Why 90 days, you may wonder. We request 90 days simply because, one, some members of the advisory group have full-time jobs. In anticipation of summer family vacations, will be hard-pressed to rigorously study these circumstances in a short period. Two, by his own admission, Superintendent Mahoney has been contemplating this decision for several years. Similarly, the professors and Midwest consultants who studied provided support for the recommendation to close DLR currently studied it for as many as 6 months. Although we understand that the school district's financial condition is serious, the financial experts within our so-called advisory group do not consider it dire. Lastly, the former and current administrators and former faculty members of our group think that 9 months, let alone a full year, is more than ample time to plan and execute the building changes contemplated in Superintendent Mahoney's recommendation. Finally, if you will agree, we propose a special school board meeting shortly prior to your deadline, during which we will make a presentation, including a report with recommendations to the board. Thank you for your attention and consideration, and I will remain until after your board meeting to answer the questions we have.
My name is Rick Riley. I was on the school board from 1997 to 2003. That's where I met Mary Jo when she was elected. This is Connie Tate. My purpose here for having Connie on with me is I'm here as we had formed the referendum committee in 2001. We had done presentations, 25 of them, in Morris and Oregon. We had a great referendum committee, and we were fortunate enough to pass the vote. The vote was 16, now there are two referendums that were being voted on. The education fund and the building fund. The building fund was to build the 3 science labs at our high school. Both referendums passed. The vote was 1,644 in favor, 1,600 against. 3,244 people voted in this election. There was a lot of interest. If 23 people would have changed their mind, it would have failed. Okay, now here's the important part. In every precinct in Oregon, though it was close, every precinct failed the referendum. Every precinct in Mount Morris, though it was close, passed. Every single one of them. And the ones that had, there was enough to carry over, so that Mount Morris saved the day. Okay, so that I'm just letting you know the facts. I think the school board needs to know this. Okay, so that was in 2001. 2004, there's a fire. Ron burns down. Okay. Ron burns down, but the kids across the nation, this is what CNN had headline news every night, and the kids across the nation collected pennies for Ron. I believe the amount was $155,000 to rebuild Ron. The school board votes was 4-3 against rebuilding Ron. That was a terrible mistake. I thought, well, how can you do this? How can this little community just vote against this when the whole country was behind rebuilding Ron? My point now, if you take the last school away from Morris, you will destroy the school district. You will, and here's why, you will never get another referendum passed. So that's how important your vote is. I'm just giving you the facts. So there's a lot of history behind this, but Mount Morris has stood for the schools. So we'll see.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Phil Lash. I am the current village president of Mount Morris. I don't have here to say this tonight. I've had an opportunity to meet with just about every school board member one-on-one. I appreciate the time and effort that you took to help me understand your position regarding the school decision. And I appreciate you letting me share with you why we think it would be the wrong decision to close DIY. There's 2 things that I want to ask you. The first is this. Simply put, if this goes to a vote tonight, I am asking you to vote now. For the reasons that I shared with you in our one-on-one meetings, the reasons that I shared in the last school board meeting, and also at the town hall meeting. You all know my position. You know the reason I feel the way that I do. I just ask you to consider that if this goes to a vote this evening. At a minimum, I'm hoping for the 90-day extension that Rob spoke about a few minutes ago. This is a monumental decision, not only for the community of Mount Morris, but for the communities of Mount Morris, Oregon, and I believe the Oregon School District. So again, at a minimum, we're asking for you to give us the consideration of a delay. That delay will allow us to come back to you with recommendations, alternate proposals that you can consider that don't include closing DLR. I think it's not that much to ask. Also, at this time, I'd like to introduce Melissa Nicholson. She's the trustee on the board and as finance chair for the Village of Mount Morris. She's held a petition drive over the last week or so. I'd like for her to share with you the outcome of that drive.
Good evening, school members. First off, I just wanted to thank you all for your service to this community. I think that you have a hard job, and I do not wish to ever have. I just wanted to say, we sent around a petition, we only had about a week and a half to do it, but we got 416 signatures from residents of the whole Commerce and workers. We also have a petition that was sent around the high school, which has 39 students' signatures on it. And we have all these cards. These cards were sent out to everyone in the Morris, I think. And it was said that your presence Monday night at this critical school board meeting matters. It was sent a signal to the people that the people in Morris care about good quality education.
And desire to be heard by the school board. So it says, if you are not able to be at the meeting, you sign the other side of this card and drop it off at the hall. Now, to me, I would do this, and I know nobody's gonna do that. Like, that takes a lot of effort, right? What are these? There's 88 here, and that's all people that wanted to be here this time. I gave time in the last couple of days to bring their card to go. So I think that's the volume, and I think that you should at least relay this. And, you know, I've been on the village board in Mount Morris for about a month, but I'm on other boards. I run my own board in Mount Morris Senior Center, where I'm the executive director. And I think board members, you have important jobs. So do what you are allowed to do. Be brave, be bold, and make the right decision. Do what's best for the students and for both of our communities. I decided that the microphone went out of commission. This is the time
No, I'm gonna save you.
It's you and Al, board chair.
I can tell over the desk.
Good evening, school board members and concerned citizens. It's good to see people here tonight. My name is Connie Osberger. I live in Mount Morris. I've lived there since 1992, and both of my children attended Mount Morris schools and Oregon schools. My daughter graduated in 2009, and my son graduated in 2013. I've been in all of these buildings many times over the years. I have my own business in Mount Morris, as many other people here. And the ongoing economic vitality of the town where I live, and the house that I own, and the value of my home matters to me, and the taxes that I pay to support this school district, I pay. I don't dispute the need for schools to be supported by taxes in every way, and I pay my fair share. If the value of my home decreases because the perceived livability of my community diminishes by the absence of any school building at all, the entire school district will suffer. Because not only the value of my home will be diminished, but the values of all homes in Mount Morris will be diminished. The community of the school district is all of us. It's not just Mount Morris and then just Oregon. And there are also people in China who are part of our school district too. The continued economic vitality of the entire taxing district matters a great deal to all of us. So a momentous, I would say cataclysmic decision that might be made that could have a negative impact on a significant portion of your taxing base should not be something that you undertake credentials, his knowledge, or his ability as a superintendent, because there's no need to. He's good at his job. But the bottom line is, he's not an elected official. He's not a representative of these taxing districts, and you all are. At the town hall meeting that we had over in Morris a few weeks ago, your school board president indicated that he actually does lie awake at night, sometimes worried about the decisions he finds himself faced with as a member of the school board. Do you know what I thought about that? Good for you. I'm glad it matters. I'm glad you take it to heart. Because it does matter. The decisions that you make here, some of them might seem inconsequential, but even when McDonald's was studying whether to add a pickle to its cheeseburger decades ago, that's a huge decision ultimately because it's a lot of pickles. You have a much bigger decision to make, and the argument that's already been set before you to delay your decision by 90 days is the very best thing that you could do. Dr. Mahoney says he's been mulling this over for 3 years, but he didn't involve any stakeholders. I don't know if we discussed it with, and I don't know if you all discussed it at your retreat or not. I sincerely hope that you did not discuss it at your retreat, because that likely would be a very significant violation of your meetings act. Be that as it may, you're here tonight and you're here to consider this. Whether the ultimate best way to resolve ongoing financial problems in our school district is the closing of 1 or 2 or 3 buildings, ultimately is for much wiser heads than mine. But you need to ask yourselves, are we closing the building because it's being presented to us as a way to save some money? Or do we have a responsibility to work on our budget? And the possibility of closing the building is one tool in our toolbox. Because if it's the only tool in your toolbox, I'm here to tell you it's going to be a short-term solve. The school board voted not to rebuild in Mount Morris in 2004, and one of the largest arguments was because the money could be better spent in other ways. Well, here we are 17 years later, and we continue to suffer the budgetary woes that school districts all across our state suffer. Closing one building is not a panacea. It's not going to solve budget problems for all time. It's not even going to solve budget problems for 1 year. So before you do something so significant, ask yourselves, what is our goal here tonight? Is our goal to vote on closing the building, or is our goal here tonight in every meeting to better our financial stability and make better plans for the future? And no doubt, possibly closing the building might be one of those tools in the toolbox. As Mr. Ryland pointed out, there was a successful school referendum in 2001 because enough people from Mount Morris came out and voted in favor and carried the day by a very narrow margin, and positive capital improvements were made to the school district because of the enthusiastic support from Mount Morris residents. A similar referendum was attempted in 2004, and even though Ron had been burned down and wasn't going to be rebuilt, Mount Morris residents came out enthusiastically, and in the Mount Morris precincts, the referendum passed. But this time, the naysayers in other parts of the district ruled the day, and that referendum did not pass. What Mr. Ryland said was not a threat, it's a recognition of the likely reality. If the school board doesn't recognize the importance of the stakeholders who reside in the Mount Morris portion of the school district, I urge you to take your decision for 90 days. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bruce Oldworth. I was a school board member for 19 years. With several of you around the world, I left the board for 5 years. I understand the position that you're in. I appreciate you serving the board, and I thank you for doing it. I sent you all an email a couple of weeks ago after the meeting in Mount Morris with my thoughts as to why it's not necessary at point in time to close the OR. And I'm not sure if any of you had any questions about that, but I think the rationale has been stated is financial. I've studied numbers. I've been an accountant all my life, and I've tried to look at the rationale. Why now? Why is it being done now? At the time, I surmised that it was because Dr. Mahoney was going to retire at some point in time. I've heard that it's at the end of next year. I don't know if that's bad. I haven't talked to him, but if I was in his position, and I'm sure that he feels that this is the right reason, this is the best time for the school district to do this. From my position, school district, it has been operating to deficits, but you have $9 million in the bank right now. Your funds are healthy. You probably have been rated by the state at an A+ position where the recognitions have come out. So at some point in time, it may be necessary. You may get to this point, but it's not in my sense, in my heart, looking at the numbers. It's not now. When I look at the things that are being done in the district, after that meeting, and driving by the new administration offices going up on the corner over here, it just kind of stunned me that the night before that we're talking about closing on. And at the meeting in Mount Morris, the question was raised about the transportation barn that's in Mount Morris. Well, where will you house the buses? Well, we'll just build a new one in Oregon. Was the response. We're resurfacing the track, as I understand it. We're doing things in the district that need to be done, and you have the finances to do those. I believe you're probably paying them out of life safety. So, from a tax perspective, the funds are there. Long term, Dr. Mahoney has said that we've lost $400,000 a year over the last 5 years. And I don't doubt that. The state of Illinois and the education, the way the state of Illinois funds education has been a mess for 25 years. From my perspective, I still hold out hope that at some point in time, they will get it right, and it will allow school districts to run districts the way they should. If you make this decision tonight, and you close Ron, there will be no turning back. There's no going back to, well, let's put a school in Mount Morris. And that's my concern. Why now? I've heard the 90-day waiting period. I'll be interested to see what the conclusions are, but from my perspective, it's not 90 days from now. It should be voted tonight that you should not close Ron tonight. When I looked at your website today, I saw a vision statement that's posted out there. It says, Oregon will become an educational destination for all families and students. Do you truly believe that vision statement? If you take this school out of Mount Morris, the people looking at the Oregon school district, Oregon and Mount Morris and Shannon are going to bring their kids here when you have 7th and 8th grade in with high school students. There are too many other options out there. And for that reason alone, I think you need to reconsider and look at different options. I sent my email to the 7 of you and Dr. Mahoney, and you put it in the paper. It's up to you to decide to make that decision tonight. I sat on the board when that 4-3 decision came down, and we did not rebuild the Mount Morris. And some of you on the board tonight voted to rebuild in Mount Morris. I'm hoping the rest of you see fit that we keep the school in Mount Morris for the future of the Oregon School District. Thank you.
I just want to make one statement. You've heard from 3 ex-school board members who have also paid the price of this school. Also, the school district has reaped the benefits of 20 years of that referendum that was passed back in 2001. And the reaping of that benefit came from us.
I wasn't planning on talking tonight. My name's Kelly Hampshire. I'm a teacher at OCUSD, I'm a teacher. I either have in school, or I have in school, or grade 2. So I think all of you know me. This is a subject that's very hard for me to talk about. I was one of the original teachers. I was hired 29 years ago to the Mount Morris School District for 1 year. And I came from Northern and I was full of knowledge. I was ready for the world. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I doing in this small little school? And then, oh boy, did they teach me so much. Those teachers were amazing teachers, cutting edge. Some more here. It was a wonderful, wonderful place to teach and to start my career. And now, and then, after the fire, we became part of the Oregon School District. My children, 2 daughters, went to the school. We live in Mount Morris, and my daughters attended all the school buildings here. And every year, they had an amazing education. From every teacher we had. This is not Mount Morris market anymore. I don't look out at my students and see Mount Morris kids and Oregon kids. I see our kids. But I don't know, is Andy over here today? Just wanted to be. I read his article because I like Andy's articles, I bet you do too. And I worked with his wife, he reminded Mount Morris people to remember that you're part of the Oregon School District. We know that. We know that since our school was not rebuilt. Every day. And we still voted for a referendum because we believe in our kids. Mount Morris always has been pro-education and supporters of education. I guess what I want to say is, do what's right for our kids. And I want Oregon to remember that Mount Morris is part of our school district tonight.
I have a pretty good Jim voice, and maybe you can all hear me, because I'm sure I can hear some of you guys. So maybe I'm going to repeat some of this, but this is just kind of a personal basis, okay? I was a member of the class of 57, and I'm not quite as old as Dirk, but pretty bang on post. And we were the first class that would have entered the high school in Mount Morris for non-junior high, first class to graduate with 4 years at the high school in Mount Morris. I guess one of my questions in my mind is, I've heard that there's somebody that graduated from Oregon in the class of 36 or 33 or something. That tells me that Oregon High School must be older than Ron Junior High. And so, I seriously do have a question about that. Have we taken care of, or has Oregon High School been taken care of better throughout the years than at Mount Morris? Just a question. The second thing, today I went out, and I have a couple granddaughters who live in Fort Atkinson. And Bet will find it hard to believe, but I worked with them with golf today. And Lexi is a 7th grader, or will be going into 7th grade. Lauren will be going in as a freshman. I cannot fathom Lexi going into a situation where there are high school kids. I cringe at the thought. I don't care whether it's passing them in the hallway or what. I just do not see a 7th grader, maybe boys or girls, in a high school setting if it's not absolutely necessary, maybe in a small private school. But that's just a concern I have for students within this district. And maybe somebody brought this up before, but to me there's a concern there. And I hope it's not just money that's talking, but I'm assuming that there's other things that are being thought through. Amen.
Board members, the only thing I'd like to ask you for tonight is to give us some more time. Because basically, we didn't know this was coming down. You're not getting much appreciated. I'm gonna ask you guys, is there anyone from Oregon here tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have anybody from Mount Morris here tonight? Okay. These people are not saying it's not an Oregon Mount Morris thing. Look at the crowd. I say it is an Oregon Mount Morris thing. We better get it together, or we lose our school. And then another thing, today I went down with Paula. She's a good girl. She works hard. And the mayor was there. And I go, who called our state representative or our state senator? They should be down here. And nobody's done it. I called them Saturday, they weren't working, of course, so I left a message, and I called back today. They didn't have enough time to get here, so again, we need more time. So we can build up our resources. And then, I'm okay with the old school board members coming here and saying how they work hard and this and that. But we gotta move beyond this, people. You lost your school in 2004. You're begging for a school now, and you should be asking for a new grade school, not begging for a school. What the hell is going on? You can't be changing, man. You gotta toughen up. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Thanks, Christopher. I don't know. There's a good question here about kids going to high school here. Some things that kids going to high school here. Like we were back in Conroe now, I have a parent in 5th grade. Guess what? He went to Oregon High School here. He wanted to finish his student for his class. Had no problems, no issues, no bullying. He's happy, so he learned more down here than down here. So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, question was raised about why Gordon High School being old as it is. I think the plumbing and everything else, pretty darn good shape here. There's a big difference between Mount Morris and Warren. Mount Morris School seems to be run down, the plumbing's gone, the sewer's gone, you got asbestos, you got a bad smell in there. It's just not safe. You know, how do you put safety protocols on the walls and everything? That's can't put cameras up there. You're not supposed to do it. So I support the school board here and what you're doing. I think you're doing the right thing. And you're being voted. State that knowledge. You know, it's just simple thing grade. It's not a whole school. You're acting like it's 1 through 12. It's not. It's 7th and 8th grade. It's just 2 grades. It wasn't down the hill anyways. What's the difference?
Hi everybody, my name is Melissa Leary. I am going to be a sophomore this upcoming school year at OCUSD. And I think that it is also important to hear a student's perspective on this matter. I have spoken to many of the students, and we can all agree that what we learned at the DLR is not that anything we get anywhere else. Not only did we learn maturity, how to be social with others, but how to prepare for high school. Merging 7th and 8th in high schoolers, I just can't imagine, you know, being 8th grader going into 9th grade, I was a nervous wreck, I'm not gonna lie. You know, even 14 and 15-year-olds walking around with secrets, that's scary. And I just feel like the 7th graders would be very overwhelmed. And so this is why I'm at least asking for a 90-day extension, because I know lots of students that would love to be involved in this matter and, you know, help. And I think that we should incorporate the students into this and bring in new ideas and help the cause. I really think that would do wonders, and I think we could accomplish some great things. So thank you for your consideration and your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to be really brief. I think all of you probably got a copy of the letter that I sent from Jeff Bolt. I'm part of the Morris Chair and member of Morris Economic Development. If he has any questions, I think I'd discuss that with you. I believe everything that's in that letter, I think it's factual and true. I think the impact, the past things that have happened in this district have been devastating about Morris economically. And I think anything going this way, going forward, is just going to double down on the mistakes that we made in the past. But anyway, I noticed something on your affirmation, as you all say at the beginning of your meeting here. And it talks about committed to the success of our kids, our staff, and our community. Our community is big, and our community is important, and our community is the greater community. It's every part of this community. It's all aspects of it. I'm going to end it real quick with one thing. Bruce and 2 other people have talked. You look at the optics of the building, you look at what's going on outside down here, it's wonderful. You have new roofs, you have new parking lots, you have backhoes and equipment working all over the place. The steps are torn off, the old part of the high school, that's being rebuilt. You have things going on, the stairs going to the streets. And I'm going to show you what it looks like in Ron. And I'm not sure, we're trying to decide exactly when Ron was named for DLR. You can pass that around, please. Pass that to your other board members. That sign looks like it was done the cheapest way to make a sign with a stencil that you can imagine. That's your showpiece in front of Ron. That's what people see when they visit that school. And yet we come down here and we see all the construction and all the things that are going on. That's pretty tough, guys. That's your responsibility as the board, and that's where the pride should come for the junior high students. And that's what stands in front of that building. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, so that brings us to the consent agenda items. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented? There a second? Discussion.
So I just wanted to point out to you where we're at, with our budget year update. We are, just about 92% for our fiscal year. As you can see, revenues are lagging, and that's because we get our second tax payment in June. So we get next fiscal year's tax payment in this fiscal year, and that helps balance our budget. And then you'll see our expenditures are right on pace to stay, where we estimated them to be, mostly around the 90-92% expenditure rate. Low end, maybe a little bit over some of the work we did with some of the spending. What's not in there is the working cash. We have not done any transfer to working cash. Maybe that next month, maybe it looks like and then I have the actuals there for where we're at right now, about $780,000 deficit. I do anticipate to have quite a surplus this year budgetarily, because don't forget, in the data I shared with everyone, I estimated what if we would have gotten all of our tax money last year. Remember the Oakland treasurer, the Oakland delayed the property taxes we're getting. Last year we had a $3 million deficit on paper, but I backloaded that in with the estimates for the week. So we'll do a 2-year look back and see where we're at. That's all I have to share.
I'd like to make a motion to delay the vote on the DLR closing for 90 days.
How much work? So, conversations I've had with,
So, I would, as we talk, I would be in support of overtime, not just teacher. So I can't speak on that, but I would want something to go into the school. So that can be.
You're saying 90 is too long.
I'm saying 90, you're both 90 days, I would say, prior to having a decision, prior to the start of school.
My concern would be that the numbers are.
Speak up.
So I think that we got all the information we need to have.
I'm in support of delaying at least 60 days. I don't feel like, yes, we got the number of information, but I don't feel like we've been given information of how incorporating 7th and 8th graders into the school is going to work. I was here in 2004 when they brought Bible students here. We saw them every day. I mean, yes, they were kindergartners, 2nd graders, but we saw them every day. I don't feel like we've been presented
plan, which they want to separate them. And I strongly feel, as a mom of little boys, I'm not sure I want to separate their intermix with the senior and the state bullying that it is right now. So I'm in favor of trying to delay this one so they can give us more information on how they plan to separate and allow for social development for our students.
Anyone else?
Well, we only have a motion now, we made the second and 90 days delay.
You said 60 days, I said 60 days, so
Now we can amend the motion, we chose to write on the motion on the floor. Now we can move to the 90 days second, but no amendment to the motion.
I think since we don't know how everybody else feels about that, we should vote on my original motion. And if you think it should be less than 90 days, then vote no on the original motion. And make a new motion that says, should I delay the vote for 60 days or 30 days or whatever it is you want. But otherwise, I can amend my motion, but I'd like to still make it 90, and someone who may be okay with that. So that acceptable?
It's your motion, so if you want to do the motion, it stays the motion to the second.
Let's vote on Mal's motion.
So we're voting.
Delay of 90 days.
So you want that?
The motion fails, so we just do amend the motion.
I'd like to make another motion that we delay it for 60 days.
For second.
Yeah.
Motion passes. Motion to approve the OCUSD contract for 2021 to 2023 school years. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Any motion to approve the renewal of property and liability insurance for the fiscal year 2021, 2022? Is there a second?
Yes.
Any to approve the 2021, 2022 tax bill renewal? Is there a second?
Yes.
Any motion to approve the change to the OCUSD drug testing program? Is there a second?
Yes.
Any to approve the Old County Health Department MOU? Is there a second?
Yes.
And a motion to approve the no bid recommendation? Is there a second?
Yes.
And a motion to approve the tuition retirement agreement for $2,000. Is there a second?
Yes.
No, we can't.
Mr. Administrator reports, any questions for administrators? Shall I enter the brings us to new business,
None at this time, Mr. Chair.
old business,
None at this time.
management of the board,
None at this time.
and motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.